Miss Cindy, and today we are going to paint a dinosaur. So I've traced it all out on the canvas for you, and you have all your little cups of paint. So first we're going to use yellow. So you can just find a brush that's kind of medium size and take a bunch of yellow. You can put it on your paper plate. And we're going to take some white, and we're going to mix it with some white. And you can just take another brush so you don't get the colors mixed together, and put a bunch of white in with your yellow. Okay, just like that. All right, then we're going to mix it all up together. So we just wanted a yellow that was a little lighter than what we started with. Okay, and now you can use whatever brush you have that it'll work with. I'm actually going to use this brush to begin with, okay? So we're going to do the whole top part yellow. Just go back and forth, cover it with yellow. And we're going to do the whole sky. You actually can cover also, because it won't really matter, if you go over these a little bit, if you go over the tops of the dinosaur, this part right here, it's okay. As long as you can still see the lines underneath it, it really won't make any difference, because we're going to cover those up with green next anyway. And it'll be easier to not have to go through all the lines. So when you get to where the dinosaur face is, be real careful following the lines around so you don't paint over the dinosaur head. Like I said, it's okay if you do the back of the dinosaur. So those are going to be green anyway, so the green will hide up the yellow. So just kind of go around and paint all of that yellow. Go back and fix it a little bit. Remember, don't leave any big lumps of paint. Okay, and then when you get to where the line is, just go as far as the line. Just like that. Okay, so that part is done. So now we're going to do the whole bottom part in the blue. So everybody's got blue paint in their bag. And you can use whatever brush, like I said, you have. You don't even have to take the blue out of the cup and put it on the dish if you don't want to, because it'll be, we're just using the blue, so you don't have to do anything else to it. So then take the blue and paint the whole, down here, the whole ground. I know usually grounds are blue, but that's okay. This one is. Just paint the whole thing. And paint very carefully around the little dinosaur's head. Okay, just like that. If you need to use a smaller brush, just use whatever works best for you. Okay, so we're going to go like that. Finish up the edge. Got a little too much blue over here. I put too much paint down. So I'm just going to spread it out a little bit more. And make sure you do very carefully around his feet. Just all the way around like that. And just smooth out your paint. other leg. Okay. Get the edge. Go all the way around. All the way around this way. Remember, don't leave it too thick or it'll never dry. Move it over a little bit here. I could reach it better. And then it's going to get a little tricky when you get to this other part. So I'm going to switch to a smaller brush in a minute, because that is going to get very tricky getting around all these little parts. Okay, so we switch to a smaller brush now. And then you can get into all the little spaces better. Now this time make sure you don't cover up those little parts sticking out of his back, the scales sticking up, or whatever they call, because I don't know that much about dinosaurs. So it's okay. If you get a little bit of yellow in your blue from the background, from the sky, don't worry about it. Just mix it in and it'll go away. Okay. Just do a little bit of blue at a time so we don't get it mixed in where it's not supposed to be. It's kind of tricky in these little spots. Okay, and right around his tail. Okay, so that's the blue. So now we're actually gonna give it a little bit of chance to dry. So I'll be back in a moment, okay? Okay, so now that it's a little bit dry, we are going to paint actually I was gonna do the scales first, but no, we're gonna paint the dinosaur next. Okay, so we're gonna need some white paint and some red paint. So I would take a scoopful of white paint, put it on your plate, and now take a little bit of red. You don't need a whole bunch, just need a little bit of red. Mix it up. Everybody's is going to be a little different in color because we want kind of a pinkish red. So we want it about that color. So don't add too much red to your white. You can always add more if it's not dark enough. Okay, so kind of like that color. And now we're going to paint the dinosaur head first. Okay. If you need a smaller brush, just use whatever brush is smallest that works for you. In fact, I'm going to probably switch to a smaller brush in a second. This doesn't work because it's too big. Okay, so just paint the whole, yeah, I went around mine a little too close. You need a smaller brush, believe me, use the smaller brush. That is the hardest part, right around the eye and the mouth. Okay, and then just follow it along. If you go over the blue a little bit, it's okay. And now we're just going to go around the back. Okay. Go back, fill that in. All right. And now we're going to go around the back side some more. Okay. I'm going to do the feet next, one leg at a time. I'm going to going to use the bigger brush till I get further down. Then I'm going to switch to the smaller brush. I'm going to go back and use the smaller brush then. So I'm leaving that part blank for right now. Okay, so now I'm going to go around. His belly is going to be a different color. So just go around where his belly is. Go down to the other leg. I'm going to leave the tail part also for the other brush. It's too small. And my brush is too big. Okay, so I'm going to switch brushes to a smaller one. That'll be a lot easier. Okay, now I can do the tail. Go around. There we go. Now I can do around his little toes. See how he's got little toes on him? Those are going to be a different color. Fill that in. Now we're going to go back after and we're going to make his little toenails green. Okay. And now the other ones. If you decide you don't want toenails on your dinosaur, you can leave it out and just go with the yellow, with the pink all the way down. It's up to you. I think he looks better with toenails. Okay, so just like that with the pink. Now what we're going to do is, if you noticed, his part of his scales and his stomach and his feet all are green, and I did not give you guys green. So you're going to take your yellow that you used on the sky and you're going to add a little bit of blue to it. Just add a little bit at a time till you get a nice bright green. And it's up to you to decide when you think it's the right green. Everybody's green can be a little different. I think mine needs a little bit more. So I'm going to add a little bit more to it. And if it gets too dark, I could always add a little bit more yellow to it. But you want kind of a bright green. That's why I mixed it with the yellow instead. It's a brighter green than if I would have just given you green. Okay, so you kind of want it like lime green. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a little bit of white to it as well. So I'm going to add a scoop of white to it. See, if you keep your paints in your cup and just take out what you need at the time, then you'll always have extras in case you mess up. All right, added a little white to it. So now I'm going to paint his scales on his back. And I'm going to use the small brush for that too, because I'm going to turn it around so I can reach him better. It'll be better that way. And I won't lean into the wet paint. Okay. And just follow the lines around. See how you can still see them even though I painted yellow over them. Because yellow's more see-through. And just fill it, all the scales in with the green. If you go out of the line a little bit, that's okay. Okay. So we want to paint all the scales. Just like that. A couple more And then we're also going to paint his stomach, the part by his tail. I'm going to skip over to this one now. I don't know why, but I just wanted to. Doesn't matter which order you paint them in. But we're waiting for the dinosaur to dry a little bit more, which is why we're doing the scales over here first, before we do his toenails. His toenails are going to be the hardest part to do because they're so small. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it a little bit this way, just whatever's easiest for you to face it. And we're going to do by the tail. And then we're going to do his little toenails. Go out of the line a little, that's all right. We all go out of the line sometimes. Okay. Now his stomach. And his other toenails. Okay, just like that. All right, now on the back, he also has some green spots. So my pink is dry back there, so you can just make however many spots you want. Little polka dots on them. You can make big ones, you can make little ones, and you can make as many as you want if you want more or less. I'm going to go with 5. Make one little bitty one. Okay, so just like that. Now what we need to do is we need to make our green darker, because we are going to add some grass at the bottom. So take a little bit of blue paint and mix it in with our green we already made. Might need a little bit more than what I did. Yep, we'll put a little bit more in. And we're going to make a darker green, because we're going to put a little grass on the bottom. Okay, so when you get a nice darker color you like, then what we're going to do is we're just going to make little grass here and there. You can make some short, you can make some taller. So we're just going to fill up a little grass at the bottom, just like that. A couple little ones. Fix that one a little bit. All right. Let's go back and forth, make different heights. Make them sideways a little bit so they look like they're on an angle, just like that. Okay. And now, okay, we need to do the eyeball. I forgot to do around the eye. Extra paint off of here. Okay, we are going to take straight white and we are going to paint in the eye. I kind of went over my line earlier, so if you did, just try to fill it up with the white. Kind of help it a little bit, make it a little bit bigger than what it was. Okay, and now while we have our white in, also while we have our white out, we're going to make a sun. So take your white and just paint a circle, and that's going to be the sun. And then we're going to make a few lines around it like that, like it's the rays from the sun that are just kind of around it, just like that. Okay. And while we've got it upside down also, we're going to use our little brush and we're going to make some birds. So a bird is just kind of like shaped like a V. And I'm just going to do them in blue. So just go like that, and it kind of looks like a V. You can do how many you want. Depends on how many birds you want in the sky. Make one a little bit bigger, one a little smaller. So just like that, and we have our birds. But now, this is the part that everybody is going to like to do, is we need to mix all of our colors together a little bit. We need a little scoop of blue, just like that. I'm going to wipe off my brush. And then I'm going to take a scoop of red and add it to it. And I think we're just going to mix those two colors, because I think if we add the yellow, it'll make it too light. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of blue and a little bit of red, and we're going to mix it all together till we end up with a real dark color. It's kind of a dark purple, but we're not looking to make purple. We're just looking to make a dark color so we could paint our mouth. I didn't give you guys black because you didn't really need much of it, so I figured you could just make the color with what you've got. And it's plenty dark for the mouth. Just like that. And then you could take a dab of it and you can paint the eye, which if your white is really wet, you might want to wait for it to dry a little bit. But that actually didn't do too bad. Okay, and also he needs a little eyebrow like that. Okay. I think we are done painting. Okay, there you go. Okay, forgot to put my initials. I'm just going to do them in the dark color here. Okay, and we are done.